From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, September the 6th, 2018. Well, reports yesterday that Paraguay was moving its embassy from Jerusalem back to Tel Aviv are correct. Less than 4 months after the South American country opened its new embassy in Jerusalem, following in the footsteps of the United States and Guatemala, it announced yesterday that the embassy would return to its original location. Paraguay's new foreign minister, Luis Alberto Castiglione, told reporters the issue of Jerusalem was complex. He said Paraguay considers that it has to be addressed through negotiations by the concerned parties within the framework of the relevant international organizations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was outraged at the reversal and instructed Israel's foreign ministry to close Israel's embassy in Paraguay's capital of Asunción. He wrote on his Twitter page that Israel views with utmost gravity the extraordinary decision by Paraguay, which will cloud bilateral relations. The Palestinians, meanwhile, are taking credit for the reversal and celebrating it, saying they will now open an embassy in Paraguay. The PA ministry said they persuaded newly elected Paraguayan President Mario Abdo Benitez to change the decision, which was made by his predecessor, Horacio Cartes. Deputy Minister Michael Oren, who is Israel's former ambassador to the U.S., said the Paraguayan change of heart could also negatively impact its relations to the U.S. Oren said the world appreciates countries that stand firm behind bold decisions and not countries that change their mind after a few months. The American Jewish Committee said they were deeply disappointed at the shocking reversal. AJC Director of Latino and Latin American Affairs, Dina Siegel-Van, said Paraguay has long been a leader among Latin American nations in advancing cooperative relations with Israel. Opening the Paraguayan embassy in Jerusalem was indicative of that support. She said to suddenly reverse the historic decision less than 4 months later raises a number of questions, including who exerted pressure on Paraguay to do so. The IDF unveiled its new security barrier along the Lebanese border this week. The 30-foot concrete wall runs just under 7 miles at present. It is still being worked on and will extend to 8 miles when completed. While Lebanon is opposed to the barrier, Israel maintains that it is lawful and necessary to protect Israeli civilians from threats from the north, including from Lebanese terror group Hezbollah. Anti-Israel posters were found yesterday on bus stops in London. The posters read, "Israel is a racist endeavor." The Times of Israel reports that the signs were put up by London Palestine Action, which posted images of the photos on its Twitter and Facebook accounts today, along with more anti-Israel rhetoric. London's Mayor Sadiq Khan, who is a Muslim, condemned the incident and ordered the posters be taken down immediately. Transport for London told the London-based Jewish Chronicle that the posters were absolutely not authorized, and the incident was considered an act of vandalism. An investigation is ongoing. The Jewish National Fund, JNF USA, and the U.S. Embassy in Israel held an official ceremony today at the 9/11 Living Memorial Monument in Jerusalem to remember the victims of the terror attacks on the United States. U.S. Ambassador to Israel David Friedman said at the event, "In this beautiful plaza, at this inspiring location, we remind the families of those lost, and we confirm to people everywhere that we stand together, Americans and Israelis, and that together we continue to heal and to build in a spirit of solidarity and commitment to the future." This year's 9/11 ceremony was held early in Israel so as not to coincide with the observance of the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. The 9/11 memorial in Jerusalem is made partially from steel taken from the wreckage of the Twin Towers and is the only memorial outside of the U.S. that includes the names of all those who perished in the attacks. Well, despite saying she would perform in Israel, standing up to pressure from the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions campaign, American singer Lana Del Rey has withdrawn from the Meteorite Music Festival. We reported to you that Del Rey was pressured to cancel her performance, in particular from anti-Israel BDS activist Roger Waters. But Del Rey stood her ground, saying she would perform in Israel and also find a Palestinian venue to perform. But late last week, Del Rey said that she was unable to coordinate a Palestinian performance at short notice and therefore is postponing until she can schedule shows for all her fans. A number of acts have withdrawn from the festival because of BDS, but despite this, the three-day music event kicked off today in the Upper Galilee with dozens of international artists taking the stage, as well as about 80 Israeli bands for a total of 130 performances over the next 3 days. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, September the 6th. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study. At 8, it's Outspoken with Brooke Goldstein. At 9, Mark Golub speaks with David Rabb on L'chaim, whose book Terror in Black September chronicles his personal experience aboard the TWA flight that was hijacked by Palestinian terrorists on September the 6th of 1970. At 10, it's the Manhattan Jewish Hall of Fame Awards, and coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, the Debka File. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, September the 6th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.